Much about this game. It was just suggested to me that I play it, so here I am. Well, there's not much for options. It looks like the original language is in Korean, but I'll go ahead and switch to Japanese. I'm a little bit more familiar with the sounds in there, so maybe I can pick out some words here and there. Oh, what do I have for extras? Oh, okay. Awesome. I wonder if that tastes good. So we'll play, which they say is about 19 or is about 3 hours. I don't know if it really will be 3 hours, but we'll find out. Anyway, let's play. Oh, I already unlocked an achievement. That's great. Just by starting it. The 3 laws of robotics. 1. Injure a human being, or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. 2. A robot must obey the orders given by the one possessing control or authority, except where such orders would conflict with the first law. 3. A robot must protect its own existence, as long as conflict with the first or second law. Oh, well, these all sound familiar. October 12th. You. Modern Visual Arts Laboratory presents scenario by S.R. S.R. I just want to close my eyes. The thought enters my mind as I walk down a busy street. All billboards and neon signs, covered from top to bottom with 3D holograms. Oh, whoa, you are on mushrooms. Sound effects. They're all giving me a headache. I feel like I could collapse at any moment. Yeah, you could. Dude, you're tripping. This is the display of our Korea. The constant and in-your-face technology underlines our nation's claim to fame. There have been many drastic and all-encompassing changes in the last few years. And being a person, I despise these changes. This is why I just want to close my eyes. Oh, that doesn't look so. Blinking does not change anything. Everything appears even brighter than usual. I might just be feeling a little off. Maybe it's the weather. I decide to take a shortcut to avoid being overwhelmed. It's a place that will take me away from the blinding lights. I've chosen to take my secret path home. Programming. Chaos. Defender. Ooh. I finally breathe, managing to escape the chaos of downtown. I half expect ghosts to pop out at me as I make my way through the shady park path. The buildings nearby are all filthy and worn down, with only a few inhabitants around. I fully escaped all the noises from downtown. The industrial noises from factories and construction work continues to ring in the air. But that's fine. At least my eyes can take a rest. A massive building on the side catches my attention. K Robotics Company, Limited. That's probably what they would say on the main gates. Oh, that's gates. Although I've never cared much about this place, I've at least heard of it. They put out various models of robots which are renowned worldwide. I see them on the news quite often. My classmates are always talking about them. About their androids. Personally, I don't know much about robots. In this generation, it's impossible to stay away from technology, whether I like it or not. I don't particularly care much about it. I'm the kind of person who prefers analog clocks over digital. Pianos over synthesizers. acoustic guitars over electronic. And finally, real people over androids. Oh, I turn my attention back to the sidewalk. I continue towards the hidden path leading to their junkyard. Naturally, this is private property, so no one is allowed to enter. A troublemaker like me. Definitely hipster. Cameo casting Andrew Warner, Jalen. Here it is. The graveyard for all their failed experiments. In the past, I've seen robots scurrying around and taking apart various objects. Only the more costly parts are recycled, while the cheaper ones are turned into scrap. Everything here is automated. There isn't anyone actually watching over. Just a guard robot, several worker robots silently carrying out their duties. If spotted by the guard robot, a siren is activated. I've personally never run into any trouble, though. Robots are fundamentally stupid. Even with the guard robot, as long as I'm a bit careful, I can sneak by without issue. This is where that big company dumps all their stuff. I heard you can find some real goodies from time to time. If you're lucky, that is. Pretty sure that guy from my class told me something along those lines. I've already scoped this place out on previous trips. I've never had a good find. Excuse me. Or I can't tell what's useful or not. Probably the latter, since my familiarity with robots is quite poor. Whatever. I didn't come here to hunt for treasures anyway. Shortcut home. If I walk straight through the middle, I can shave off almost 10 minutes. The reward outweighs the risk. If I could only just ignore the loud noises and the no trespassing signs scattered all over the place, though. I have no reason to care around here. As usual, I quickly make my way through the junkyard. However, today was a little different. Something had caught my eye. A faint figure in the distance. I can't be sure, but it looks like... a person? Yes? A woman. There appears to be an unconscious woman lying on the ground. She's not moving. Maybe she's hurt somewhere? Or something worse? I started concerned. Had I just stumbled upon a crime scene that might end up on tomorrow morning's headline news? Why is that hard to say? I had to find out what's going on. I'm going to... I dashed towards the fallen maiden to lend assistance. But wait. It appears that I was mistaken. It wasn't a woman after all. I was fooled. But something similar. Two eyes closed tightly shut. Sparkling silver hair. From afar, you could mistake it for a person. Its features, an android. That's what was lying there. Useless piece of junk. Don't scare me like that. I've never actually owned an android before, though I've seen quite a few around me. They say that an android is nearly indistinguishable from a person from just a glance. That's how advanced our technology has become. In confusion, androids are imprinted with serial codes. Each model has its own unique number. I spot the android's code located near its belly. Wait, really? Why the belly? It usually covers the belly. Oh, whatever. Just to get a better look, it reads PIM-001. Number 1. With a design before. Maybe it's a prototype. It looks brand new. If so, then what's it doing here? Maybe this was one of those failed experiments. It's caked with dust from head to toe. Well, it's a pretty sad sight. It also hasn't moved a single inch. Looks like it's cold out. Hey, wake up! Curiosity gets the better of me. I decide to test it out. Are you testing it out? Oh, it's right. I do know that voice recognition is a standard feature for all androids nowadays. Assuming everything is working properly, it should respond to my voice. I should probably actually say something. No response. Hey, say something. Still nothing. Come on, they're gonna cut you open at this rate. A light kick to the robot's leg. Creepy. Upon contact, it starts to show a sign of life. By a collection of bleeps and bloops, the arms begin to spasm. Its movements are quite rigid. The scene looks like it was plucked straight out of an old sci-fi film. It's probably running on reserve power. I guess it's still a bit of juice left. Its unstable movements start to make me feel a bit nervous. The light in its eyes have yet to return. I begin to spot a pattern in its actions. It looks as a wave, trying desperately to keep my attention. I glance around. I hear a screeching sound nearby. The sound of metal being crushed. It's probably those little robots doing their jobs. I can tell that they're close. They'll probably reach this place in less than 10 minutes. I shred the android and shred this android into a... Its existence will soon come to an end. I kind of feel sorry for this thing. I begin to sympathize with the robot, because I realize just how much trouble it was in. Despite being dusty, it's still in pretty good shape. With a bit of cleanup, it could look as good as new. If it hadn't been thrown out, it would surely have been in service. I wouldn't know what this robot was made for, but I wonder why it never saw it. All the labor used to create this robot would go to waste. All the sweat and tears poured into creating this robot will go down the drain. All the cutting-edge features it could have offered will never be realized. As far as a little bit of tinkering, just might become usable. Half of me is staring at the robot in pity, and the other half of me is calling me an idiot for doing so, and being horny. It's like I really in the first place anyway. Or it's not like I really need an android in the first place anyway, except for the horny part. I never liked them. For me to actually keep one at home and use it, it's unthinkable to say the least. And more importantly, how my father would react to this. Oh, he'd like it, yeah. I prefer classical music over rock. Classic literature over pulp fiction. And finally, humans over androids. Let's face it. Eventually, this robot will be scrapped and recycled for new parts. It's just like how herbivores are eaten by carnivores for survival. Only the strongest survive. And that's the way it should be. Alert! Intruder detected. Damn it! I've been spotted by that guard robot, the most troublesome one. Any longer, I'll be caught and taken away. I gotta go, see ya. With those cold words, I make my way out of the junkyard. This is like Chobits. There must be something wrong with me. Even while taking a great risk, I ended up bringing the android home. It's always been a bad habit of mine to act on a whim. I'm starting to regret it. But I decided to take some time to clean the robot up anyway. I'm really surprised though, it looks practically brand new now. I was nervous about cleaning it at first because I thought using water might ruin its chassis. I would have probably just thrown it away if it broke down anyway. It doesn't look like there are any glaring issues for now. It seems like I've made the right choice for bringing it home. Makes sense for such a premium model not to be waterproof. That's not the only problem here, though. I can't figure out how to communicate with this thing. Hey, you. Its arms begin to flare. Show me a trick. Come on, anything? If you don't want to be thrown away again, just show me something. Even, don't tell me moving your arms is all you can do. If you don't say anything soon, I'm seriously gonna toss you out. Ugh. I let out a cry. This was no better than talking to a brick wall. This is why I hate machines. They're stupid. Especially the one in front of me, which in particular seemed to be a million times dumber than the others. I'm starting to get... Why did I even bother with this thing? Don't do something you might regret. This old saying has never been wrong. Now that I think about it, it's probably power. Maybe it just needs a recharge. That might do the trick. I start to get up, but only to pause thereafter. There's another issue. Hey, where am I supposed to plug this cord into? I've never used an Android before, so obviously I wouldn't know. Maybe your nose? Maybe it was just my arm seemed to flail more rapidly. Perhaps it was trying to tell me that I'm wrong. I imagine the Android with an electrical cord up its nose. It'll be quite a sight. Try plugging it in. Don't try plugging it in. Well, I'm not going to plug it into his nose. Are you serious? Then how should I power this thing? Carefully. Maybe I've missed something. Huh? It's starting to jerk its body from side to side. It seems like it wants to turn around. Taking the hint, I glance at the back of its head. I squint my eyes. Huh, could this be... Upon a closer look, I spot a small compartment. I remove its protective lid. Inside, I find what looks to be a number of input ports. Bingo! I guess I'll try connecting it to one of these. I drag out the cable from a corner of my room. Without hesitation, I plug it in. Main system activation. Success. Finally, a response. It worked. Initiating application startup. Failure. Huh? Insufficient power supply. System protection activated. Startup process has failed. Entering power saving mode. Warning. No ownership records have been found. Initiating setup in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What the heck is going on? Confirming voice recording. What the heck is going on? Save complete. What? Hold on a second. I frantically latch onto the robot. Scanning fingerprints. Pulses normal. Temperatures normal. Save complete. Say what now? I let go of the robot immediately. Oh, she's like a Fitbit. Retina scan in progress. Save complete. It's doing a bunch of things. And I don't think it's about to stop anytime soon. Registering client ID. Please state your name. What is happening? Verifying your name. Is what is happening your correct name? What do you think?
名前の
Name verification failed.
します。
Re-registering. Client ID.
所有者
Please state your name.
名前は何です。名前
Name verification failed.
失敗
Verification on hold. Save. Complete.
以上で所有者
Complete. And just like that, all was silent once more. It felt as if a tornado ripped through the scene. I gripped my head in frustration. I really shouldn't have brought this thing home after all. This is already the third time regretting it today. Why do I keep pushing? The robot is facing towards me. Its eyes still retain a vacant look. I wonder if this is supposed to be normal. But at least it started to move. I decided to throw a few questions. Hey, I'm going to ask you something, so listen up and try to answer. You can do that, right? Its head tilts slightly to the side. It can move more than just its arms now. It's not much, but at least we're making some progress. Let's do this. Talk to the android, talk to myself. All the time, so let's talk to the android. So, what exactly are you?
言葉の意味
Error.
を
Does not
理解
compute.
できません。
Don't you have a name or something like that?
モデル名
Model name.
Lucy
Lucy Valentine.
Valentine
PIM-001.
PIM-001
Lucy Valentine. PIM? Precision Instrument for Multipurposing. PIM-001. Lucy is a futuristic first-class model designed to be versatile in any scenario. Lucy is equipped. I see. Versatile. Latest features. I wasn't expecting those words from a piece of junk that could only move its arms up and down a moment ago. In short, you're the android named Lucy is waiting for my next words. Let's try taking a closer look. It looks as good as new after the wiping I've given it. It possesses an alluring visage and a slender figure. Regardless of gender, I have to admit that it is truly a beautiful design. I spot something in the ear. A receiver? The robot has its appearance of someone in her late teens. I guess they are trying to model after a teenage woman. I can tell that a lot of effort has been put into it. It'll probably sell for a premium price. It'd be a waste to throw it away. A closer look at the android's oh, I'm clearly not pointing at her eyes, but yeah. Okay. They're blue and they look strikingly similar to human eyes. As expected from technology, head of LED lights, those eyes do look quite real. Suddenly, the eyes shift over to me. Naturally, I meet their gaze.
眼球形態
The eye compartment performance cameras.
人間と
They allow Lucy to mimic human eyes to detect objects.
ものを感
Ah,
知
is
する
that
こと
so? The way those eyes move was very unsettling. Straight out of a horror movie. I decided not to look at them again. They make me feel uncomfortable. I take a gander at the robot's moist, glossy lips. Okay. I thought you were going to be weird at some point in time. I didn't think it was going to be this soon, but yeah, okay. Contrary to their appearance, they project a harsh, robotic voice. Before advertising Before advertising itself as a first-class model, I'd like to see if it's capable of changing its voice first. What's wrong with your voice? It sounds unnatural.
現在
Lucy is able to utilize the voice box module.
ルーシー
Lucy Valentine comes with 10 unique presets by default, each with a different voice and a distinct personality. Using the pre-installed equalizer, Lucy is able to project all kinds of various sounds. So, basically you have 10 different voices. No reply. Why can't you use them right now? Most features can only be activated during normal operation and action mode. During power saving mode, Lucy is only able to utilize 5% of her total features. Then how do I get you out of this power saving mode? Lucy 20% of remaining battery life for normal operation. How long does it take for a full recharge? From an empty charge, it takes 8 hours from power saving mode and 16 hours from normal operation. Hope this electricity bill doesn't go through the roof. I can't believe I'm talking like a cheap housewife in front of a robot. That's just silly. Forget about power saving mode. What's system protection mode? During system protection mode, virtually none of the included features are usable. It is essential to disable system protection mode to allow for normal operation. Well, then how do I deactivate it? That is unknown. Come again? That is unknown. Or, I guess he's actually saying I don't know. Mode only activates under certain circumstances. Lucy does not recommend taking any further actions. What are you talking about? You're no better than a talking toaster right now. Do you really want me to... I'll have to take it to a repair shop first thing tomorrow. When does that place open again? I decided to take a look at the robot's ears. Through voice recognition technology, Lucy is able to analyze the volume and tone of speech to process one's emotions. I haven't asked you anything yet. I wonder if I can look at other stuff. This is my room. It's a bit messy since I haven't cleaned it in a while. There's not much to see. A desk, a bed, a closet, a computer, and some video game cases. Other than that, nothing special. I just keep clicking. I take a look at the body itself. The shirt it's wearing is a little short, leaving out its midriff in plain sight. It's quite exposed overall. This model was probably created to attract male customers. I can't spot it here, though. Not that I care or anything. I must be an ass man. Can you move properly now? Major body parts that allow for movement are currently malfunctioning. Which ones are you talking about? Deltoid anterior? Deltoid posterior? Pectoralis major C leviticor? Pectoralis major lateral? Biceps medial? Biceps lateral? Okay. What planet did this thing come from? From now on, try to keep things simple. How are your legs? Can you move? Negative. Pain. I'll have to take it into the repair shop tomorrow. I think I'm starting to get the picture now. Let's do a little recap. First, the name of this android in front of me is Lucy Valentine. Second, according to the robot, futuristic premium model. Third, as of right now, it's no better than a talking tin can. And there you have it. The best course of action right now would be to take it in for repairs. A lot of effort, but I guess it's not such a big deal. If I find out that I can't salvage it anyway, I can just sell it off on the spot. I was already doing the android a favor by saving it from those robots at the junkyard anyway. Guilty about it or anything. Okay, time to find a place that can get you fixed. Speaking of repair shops, I've actually heard of one that's pretty close by. Some relatively new place that I've noticed on my way. It's an antique shop, but I've heard that they also often deal with robot repairs. They also don't seem to change a lot, and many say that they're the ace in the business. I'll pay them a visit tomorrow. Now, to decide where I should or when I should go, I guess morning would be best. Yep, sounds good. I'll leave this robot with them in the morning and pick it up on my way home from school. I'm done with my questions. I save up some energy for tomorrow.
5秒後
Entering
に
sleep mode
睡眠
in
モードに入ります。
5,
5、
4, 3, 2,
3、
1.
2、
Oh, it disappears when it goes into saving mode, huh? Sweet. As soon as I finish my sentence, with a sudden hissing noise, the robot grows lifeless. I groan as I reach out to catch its falling body. I carefully place down its clothes. Oof. Totally drained. Oh, what did you do exactly to drain yourself? I hope tomorrow will be more peaceful. I know, it's a bit more innocent. Sorry! It's just the kind of things that I think about. The 3 laws of robotics. 1. A robot may not injure a human being, or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. Same thing. I thought it was going to change for some reason. Nah, sure. Thank you, Philip K. Dick. May 3rd. Doctor. Oh, sorry about that. Fun around. Throw it out the window, I swear. I've endured this far with just one goal in mind. There hasn't been a single day where I could rest. It's become natural to go to bed at the crack of dawn. I don't recall the last time I've been home. Thinking back, it's been quite a long while. 15 years. 15 years have passed since I've started this project. But the end is near. 15 years of hard work and determination. All this time, the fruits of my labor finally may be realized. How long have I yearned for this day? I'd almost given up on you many times, but I pushed on through. Finally succeeded. I barely managed to hold back the tears. I remind myself that this is still too early to celebrate. I must restrain my exuberance. From teetering on the brink of complete exhaustion, or I'm teetering on the brink of exhaustion. I've been pushed physically and mentally to my limit. I've become a shell of my former self. The last 15 years have taken a huge toll on me. I cannot wait any longer. That is why... Please, please open your eyes, Lucy Valentine. Ah, okay. Well, they're really hammering this home. What, is she gonna kick my ass? I really hope not. October 13th. You. I shut off the reflex. I groggily get up to check the time. Yep, same room. The clock reads 6. School starts at 8 o'clock sharp. It takes 30 minutes to get there, so I have about an extra hour. There's plenty of time left, and I'm still feeling tired. I lie back down. I decide to get more sleep. After I realized that I'd been forgetting something. Come to think of it, wasn't there a... I look around for the android. Oh, still there, good. And there it was, dressed in provocative clothing, with a tall nose, luscious lips, really? Okay. and hair glinting in silver. The android named Lucy. Lucy. Morning wood. As I call out to her, I'm greeted by an immediate reaction. It seems to be revving itself up. It mutters something and A robot with looks no different to those of a real person. God, it sounds unnatural. Also, with a pretty face to boot. Don't get the wrong idea. Just because it's attractive doesn't mean I'm interested. Yeah, it does. Since it's a robot, that doesn't matter. In other words, it's like checking out a girl from a magazine, which is awesome. Except that in this case, which is normal. Although technology is improving, a huge gap remains between humans and robots. You can't approach a person like you would a robot. No matter how close a robot could simulate a human being. Different. As I continue staring at the android, I start thinking to myself, what kind of greeting should I be using here? Good morning? Did you sleep well? I decided to ask her about her condition instead. How are your battery levels? 100%, fully charged. No issues have been recorded. I see. I let out a yawn as I make my way over to the bathroom. It's the poop palace. Oh, I have a very modest bathroom. I wash up, take care of my business, and exit the bathroom. After drying myself with a towel, I enter the living room. I spot a couple of plain sandwiches on the table. I pick one up and take a bite out of it. It's almost the same sandwich from the convenience store just across the street. While chewing around the living room. My father has already left for work. He always leaves early and returns late at night. Actually, it's more common for him to spend the night at work. That's how it is around here. There's always a convenient reason why the kids are left at home, you know. They can't just have like a normal family life in these games. I return to my home. I return to my room. Oh, the drapes are too bright. The android is waiting for me in the exact same spot. It seems like it hasn't even moved an inch since I woke up. As expected, to myself. Putting that aside, I start to prepare for school. While packing my bag, I start to wonder if the robot has any magical self-regenerating abilities. How do you feel now that you're on a full charge? Are you able to walk? Its head slowly turns to face me. Significant damage in the lower limbs. Unable to carry out normal operation. Repairs are required. I told you to keep things simple. Get to the point. Walk in current state. Still? Aren't you a real pain? Anyway, I understand. Even myself, I won't be able to tell exactly where exactly the issues lie. There is no choice. I'll see what happens once I take it to the repair shop. I finish up packing. The only thing left to do is carry the robot. Oh boy. Alright. How should I do this? Place it in my backpack? Carry it on my back? How am I going to place this big old thing on my backpack? I guess I'd carry it on my back. Would I chop it up and put it in my backpack? This is probably the best way, right? I kneel down facing away from the robot. Alright, hop on my back. It tilts its head to the side, looking confused. After noticing that, I start to get a little irritated. First class model, huh? Yeah, right. Am I supposed to explain every little thing? Put your arms around my neck and climb onto my back. Can you do that? After tilting its head again, it spurs into action. Isn't it? Confirming request. Is this correct? I knew it. Stop! I surrender! I'll do that on my penis next time. My arms loose their grip. I let out a few coughs. Are you trying to murder me? There's no need to put that much force into it. Just do it enough not to fall off. Honest to God, I thought I was actually going to die there. It was a fabulous chokehold, instantly bringing my knees to a collapse. This android should look to be a world wrestling champion. Okay, let's try that again. Second time was the charm. I take a deep breath and hoist myself off the floor. I start to feel the force of gravity pushing down on my back. Huh? I was prepared to break my back for this, yet surprisingly it wasn't too heavy. I've finally come to appreciate this first-class product for the first time. Alright, here I go. The weather isn't too bad. The cool autumn wind is brushing against my skin. I gladly let the crisp morning air fill my lungs. It thoroughly cleanses away the stress. The streets are eerily quiet. I'm just glad that there are less people right now. It feels like I'm carrying an immature grown-up on my back. It's good that there are very few spectators to witness such a sight. I can at least avoid being the center of attention. Let's see here. I comb through my memories and attempt to remember the location of the repair shop. If I'm correct, it shouldn't be more than 15 minutes away from here. It's a good thing that the shop is nearby. Not very athletic to begin with. No matter how light the android may be, I still won't be able to carry it around for a long time. Not too light, not too heavy. I maintain the balance of the robot shuffling around my back. Hold on tighter so you don't fall off. It feels like I'm scolding a child. Hey, around so much. I can feel the surface of the robot through my clothes. It doesn't feel any different from a normal human skin, yet it manages to surprise me again today. And it's not just the skin glowing. I can also sense some moderate warmth rising from under the coating. It feels as if I'm carrying an actual person. The robot is probably just overheating itself, which is the reason behind this familiar warmth. Wow, feels like a real person. I mutter to myself, absent-mindedly. The thermometer is normal. What is this all of a sudden? A thermometer allows Lucy to simulate human temperatures. Oh, that must be why. Motherboards and microphones of various computer chips. There must be 1,000 of those things inside a single android. The slight fuzzy warmth emanating from the machine. It's warm as human skin. It feels just like us. But it's not a real person. Just an elaborate fake. Sometimes I fear what progress in technology would bring to the future. Do you know where we're headed? With a whir, the robot shakes its head sideways. We're going to apply. When they begin the repairs, you'll need to be still and quiet, so they won't be distracted. Do you understand? Hey, I'm asking you if you understand. Say something. I just hope it got my message. I let out a small sigh and continue to walk. I check the time. My classmates will be starting to make their way to school now. I began to hurry so as one that might recognize me. A little while later, I arrive at my destination. Stretching out my mildly aching back, a small building reminiscent of an antique shop. I've heard that they actually do sell some old goods, but they often deal with repairs. To be specific, it's just the owner's hobby to repair robots. He's not a professional by any means. From what I can got a solid reputation though. Most likely, they're better known for repairs than selling merchandise. To be honest, I've yet to hear another competent place for the job. I don't know much other than that. That's because I've never been here before. I'd only heard about them. It's the first time I'd actually checking out the place myself. Obviously, I wouldn't normally ever visit a place like this, but today's an exception. Okay, obviously this is not a game. I've only started thinking about it now. Which is fine, I love books. And, you know, visual novels are basic. Except I'm reading to you, like it's bedtime. Except I'm not in your bed. Which should make you feel happy. Repairman. What? A customer? Hold on a second. I'm greeted by a grumpy voice full of annoyance. After a while, a man emerges from the back, scratching his head. Oh, I was giving him an old voice. He's scared. As if he'd just woken up. He doesn't appear too young or too old. Somewhere in his late 20s, maybe. That's not too young. Okay. He probably didn't get a lot of sleep last night. He doesn't stop you. So, what can I do for you so early in the morning? Unable to move my arms, I gesture at the android draped over my back with my chin. I was looking to get this robot repaired. Huh? An android? In his tired eyes, he passes his gaze onto the robot. Let me see here. I don't think I've ever seen this model before. I spot a glint of curiosity in those sleepy eyes of his. He walks over to take a closer look. I can't believe it. I'm totally stumped. It's probably some obscure model from an unknown company, or it's never actually been released to the public. Where exactly did you get this android? I'm not sure how I should respond to this. If I tell him about the junkyard, he might call the cops on me. Still, it's illegal to take anything out of there. It could get problematic if I let him in on everything. What did I say? Ooh, I got more than two choices. I found it lying outside somewhere. It fell from the sky. Tell him the truth. Yeah, I found it lying outside somewhere. I'm a liar. I found it lying outside somewhere. It was the first thing that had come to my mind. What's he gonna say? You found it somewhere? This thing? Yeah, someone probably just threw it out. Huh. Well, must have been some rich fella. Robots are typically quite expensive, especially the premium models. Though more common nowadays, it's still a luxury to own one. You just don't throw them away like you would with old toys. Like saving up to buy a top-of-the-line television. On top of that, if this android really is a high-class model, the repairman views the robot from multiple angles. Now, I don't know where this thing is, but it's definitely not from the S company. Mind if I take a closer look? Go right ahead. I carefully hand over the robot. Examines it meticulously from head to toe. The android stays completely still. Its eyes are staring right at me. Yeah, great. Good thing I told it to stay quiet before we got here. PIM. Ah, must be from K Robotics. I suddenly grow a bit nervous. There shouldn't be any company labels on it. I decide to play dumb. I'm confident in my ability to keep a straight face. K Robotics, did you say? Yeah, they're at that huge building over there. You've probably heard of them, right? They're the ones who made this particular model. How can you tell? I don't recall seeing any labels or anything. It's the android's build. K Robotics is the sole company worldwide that's capable of producing robots with this caliber. But something's not... The repairman gives a closer examination on the android. You could say that I'm pretty experienced in this line of work, but I don't think I've ever seen this model exhibited anywhere. Are you a child of the company's president or something? No. Then I guess you really did find it somewhere. Consider yourself damn lucky. Not a single bit of information has been released about this model yet. It appears that I've hit the jackpot. It sure doesn't feel like it, though. But wait, what's this? A nasty frown forms on his face. Anything wrong? Tisk tisk, this is problematic. Suddenly, he starts fussing like a little kid. What kind of sicko would do this? Just look at it. The whole. I won't even be able to. It won't even be able to move around properly on its own. Oh, God. It won't even be able to move around properly on its own. He was right, and that was pretty quick of him. I guess he really is the real deal, after all. Do you think you can fix it? That's not the main issue here. There's something more important. And what is that? Do you have the resolve to take proper care of an android? The resolve? What's he suddenly so on about? Listen, androids break easily. They're fragile. They're sensitive. Delicate. Do you get what I'm saying here? You should never treat an android this way. He emphasized his point 3 times. That's how passionate he was about it. See, he really does love robots. But at the same time, he's starting to freak me out. He continues to rant. To a lot of people, androids are nothing but fancy toys nowadays. I mean, those kind of folks pay for my food. But whenever I hear about how they've been mistreating their androids, I tend to lose my temper. They don't understand how important these creatures really are to us. I unwillingly take a small step back. This man just referred to androids as creatures. He's not right in the head. From time to time, people who fall in love with androids would show up in news reports. I'm not just talking about the ones who get pleasure from androids, although mainly them. I'm talking about the people who are willing to spend the rest of their lives with androids, treating them as equals. It's a pressing issue that's been brought up many times in recent years. It's an abnormality spawned by advancing civilization with constant innovative technology. As someone who's never seen this firsthand, I've always how could such people exist? An android simply lacks the intellect to be paired up with a human being. Oh no, some of the human beings are quite thick. It's nothing but a glorified hunk to make our lives a bit easier. I'd rather spend my entire life with a monkey. Okay, well, whatever. At least monkeys are actual living creatures, and they share a lot of similarities with humans. This happened to me before, though I feel more disappointed than shocked. He seemed like a perfectly normal person on the outside, but they say you can't judge a book by its cover. You understand? I'll get it fixed, but you better take good care of it. I felt this was a bit unfair since I wasn't the one who messed up the android in the first place. Even so, I don't feel like it's worth starting an argument over. And get this over with. Alright, I just need to be a bit more careful from now on, right? I'll keep that in mind. Yeah, what a great kid. At least you listen when... if you like me that much, could you charge me a little less? You're learning to bargain already? At your age? You're not such a great kid after all. In the blink of an eye. Unbelievable. Well, fine. Since you're my first customer of the day, I'll only charge you half as much as the usual. Ah, I'm relieved to hear that. You're most welcome. That's great. Would you be able to finish it by the end of the school day? Yep. I don't particularly have anything else to work on today, so... He punches some numbers into his calculator. Then he shows me the results. I was planning on charging you only about this much. What do you think? My mind goes completely numb for the next 3 seconds. There are lots of I wanted to buy. I also need to save up for new textbooks that I'll be using next year. This robot had better pay for itself. Fine. I'll have it ready when I return to pick it up. Watch that I've always liked to carry around. I've wasted too much time here. Some people ask me why I bother still using an outdated type of watch in our generation. I tell them that it has an aesthetic, and I'm a hipster. I'll take this over those common wristwatches any day. I'm well aware that these types of watches are hard to find. But more importantly, this is my personal way of rebelling against this continuously developing society, hipster. Hey, you piece of junk. Hey, can't you hear me? There's no reply of any kind of reaction. I finally decided. Lucy? The robot reacts instantaneously. How troublesome this thing is. I'll be back after school. Right? The android wobbles its head back and forth. I'm hoping it understood me. Right to school. I will make my way towards high school that I attend. I'm currently in my second year, which is like junior year in the States. Since high school's only 3 years there. While running, a movie that I'd recently watched springs to mind. It's an old sci-fi movie set in the year 2050. Sci-fi movies from the past are quite remarkable. They all seem to lack creativity. Some would include large-scale space battles. Others would simply have vehicles flying through the sky. That's just too unrealistic. It's true that there have been major strides in science and technology, but it's difficult to change what we've grown accustomed to. In this year of 2050, people still walk to school. People still drive normal vehicles. People still ride bicycles and skateboards. People still use old fountain pens or pocket watches like me. But there exists a single piece of technology that's become more prominent in our lives. Androids. Androids are being used everywhere around the world. That is the only difference between our contemporary world that is the world has to offer. I enter the hallway just as the morning bell starts to ring, giving it all I got. Please refrain from running in the halls. A janitor android scolds me lightly, but I easily brush it off. These types of androids have facial recognition capabilities that are troublemakers. Knowing that, I keep my face well hidden while running past the android. Exploiting their weaknesses is my specialty. As a result, I've never gotten into trouble at school. Safe! I enter the classroom acting like a professional baseball player who'd just stolen a base. I notice that the teacher hasn't arrived yet. I plunk down the seat while still huffing. That was pretty close. Did you sleep again? That was pretty close. Did you sleep in again? I heard a familiar voice calling out to me. It's coming from me. A clever-looking fellow. People usually refer to him by his nickname. Dr. Gears. Dr. Gears, really? That's because he's a for robots. I, on the other hand, despise robots. And while I'd label myself as an introvert, he's very approachable and outgoing. Moreover, our tastes and hobbies. But he's actually my best bud in the entire class. Puzzling, isn't it? Even our classmates find it strange. No, I just had some business to take care of. In the morning? It's a long story. Unfortunately, I'm cut off by the sound of the classroom door opening. A middle-aged man makes his entry. It's the teacher. A female assistant android is trailing behind him. Let's talk about this later. I send him a signal. He returns a thumbs up. Lunchtime arrives in the blink of an eye. I take out my freshly bought pieces of bread and arrange them. I prepare to enjoy my lunch with Dr. Gears. 2 desks have been joined together. On my desk, there are a couple pieces of fried croquettes and a carton of chocolate milk. On his desk, there's a tasty look. My friend appears to be enjoying his lunch. I've heard that his maid and android make it for him every morning. But how's the actual food? It doesn't look half bad. For someone who eats bread every day like me, the eyes. Why are you just sitting there? You got a problem with your food? No, no. I should start eating. I receive a light scolding. A piece of croquet in my mouth. As I delicately bite into its golden, crunchy surface, a warm, savory scent fills my nose. The sweet flavor of the dough mingles with the tantalizing, heavenly mixture. But that's not all. The cream inside unleashes its softness as it slowly melts onto my tongue. Then the vegetables in the mixture provide a strong, rich flavor. The eggs and also join in the fray, blending in pleasantly with all the other ingredients. This taste, this refined taste, it must be just a plain old piece of croquette. I put it Dr. Gears a question. By the way, didn't you tell me that you have a lot of androids at home? Huh? I think. Six of them, huh? What an impressive number. It's impossible for a normal household to be able to afford that many. The rumor has it that he's from a rich family. I guess it's true. Where's this coming from all of a sudden? Ah, it's nothing. Oh, wait a minute. He starts grinning like an idiot. Hey, your food's falling out of your mouth, you know. You've taken a liking to androids, have you? Have you finally decided to put an end to this war between us? Well, for now, I guess. A wise decision. Androids are simply amazing, you know. They're truly the greatest invention that science has delivered since the beginning of mankind. There are lots of different types, but I would recommend the maid models above all else. They take care of all the chores and really know how to cook. On top of that, the female ones are all pretty cute. Sometimes I find myself admiring their beauty. You've got one sick, twisted mind, Gears. Tisk tisk. Don't you think that people can achieve inner peace with beauty? It's been proven by science, you know. Shake my head wearily. I do admire his enthusiasm over something so petty, though. Really. Look, I just care more about what's on the inside, that's all. What are you talking about? I'm saying that it doesn't matter whether they're pretty or not. I just hate robots in general. Here's an example using people. Let's say there's a person with a pretty face, but he's a man. Does the fact that he's got a woman's face change anything? No, he's ultimately a man. Likewise, if I see a beautiful android, since it's ultimately a robot, its aesthetics don't matter anymore. It just becomes an illusion. What I'm trying to say is that even if a robot acts like a person, it's not. Therefore, all robots are the same to me, and I dislike them all. I guess you still haven't changed your mind. But there has to be some reason why. Normally you wouldn't even talk about it. Well, yeah. If you're looking to buy one, I'm here for you, man. I'll make sure to fill you in on everything you need to know. I'm making the greatest purchase of your life. After all those words, I couldn't help but scratch my cheeks. I'm not exactly looking to buy one. Could it be that you're worried about the price, my friend? I have some connections that'll let you have one dirt cheap. As long as I'm with you, there won't be any problems. No, it's not that. There's no need to buy one. Now, just what do you mean? I fidget around, not knowing whether I should tell everything. I found one somewhere. Found what? An android. Found one? An android? Yeah. Where? At the junkyard. Holy! You lucky bastard. Is it something like an IDX 358? 55? What model is it? Something that starts with a P. I can't remember. Someone told me it's a pretty recent model, but I haven't seen anything impressive yet. Might as well give it to... It was free after all. Now you've made me curious. I'll be sure to pay you a visit soon. He pauses for a moment before continuing, as if he's trying to change the subject. Well, I'm certainly happy blades, but... But what? But you should be careful. About what? You've seen them on TV lately, right? Those who are obsessed with androids? They have to deal with them as time goes on. Robots are robots. Humans are humans. You should never forget this boundary between them. Robots are mere tools designed to make our lives easier. Nothing more, nothing less. You'd be more about the chances of being struck by lightning. Does he even realize who he's talking to? What an absurd idea. I know, I know. Of course, I don't expect that to happen to you, of all people. But it doesn't hurt to be a little self-aware. Better safe than sorry. Alright, I getcha. I'll keep that in mind. He nods in response. Okay, before I knew it, it was already that time of the day for the final class. Already time for the final class of the day. At last, another monotonous day of school was coming to a close. Okay, let's save. I think that's... Oh, look at all these slots. What the heck, man? Oh, and it's 10 pages of saves. Wow. I'm not the kind of person that, like, saves before every decision, so I just kind of try through it again if I have to, but yeah, this seems kind of crazy. Alright, I'd like to stop. It's a little over an hour. This is audap. You have been watching Lucy, the Eternity She Wished For. This game is currently, I think it's actually currently for sale on Steam. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is. Otherwise, I wouldn't buy it because I never buy anything at full price. So, you can pick it up there if you like what you've seen so far. Again, this won't be a full playthrough. The developers have asked that we only play to a certain chapter. Respect their wishes. Unless somebody really wants me to play all the way through this, then, I'll be a bastard. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching. I'll see you at the next stream.